What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm actually in my sister's garage since we decided to get some snow down here in Kentucky. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get finished up on this F150. I've been pushing it off a little bit because I've been waiting on the damn injectors to come in. I've ordered the injectors twice. They kept pushing the date back, so I ended up running up to blanket chip tuning and grabbing the injectors, and now I'm here. Today is the day that I get to work on it, so we're gonna go ahead and throw them in, get this truck pretty much finalized, get the intercooler piping done, and pretty much make sure, give her another fine tooth, go over everything, make sure oil's good, coolant's good, and make sure there's no wires or anything that need to be addressed. Double check all my vacuum lines, double check everything, and just pretty much make sure she's ready to make some power. I don't really know how much power we're going to be able to make. We're going to try to make about 500 or so, because it is a stock trans, so we're going to kind of just let it live around there. Can't remember what spring I put in there, but yeah, we're just pretty much just gonna get a baseline tune, get some nice power out of it. Anything over 350 we'll be happy with. Try to make the trans live for now, but yeah, I mean, I don't really see anything else that we need to be addressed, because it's got the SRP pistons, manly rods, manly valves, valve springs, comp cam, blower cams, stage 2. Everything's pretty much ready to make some power, and yeah, other than that, I got the fuel system full -8 feed, and then -6 return, and then we're using 600cc injectors on this build, so we should make some steam right now. I just got to finish up getting the intercooler piping and stuff installed, get the blow-off valve installed, get the vacuum lines ran to that. Vacuum lines ran to the the wastegate underneath, going from the turbo to the wastegate, and then yeah, I got to throw those injectors in, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get the piping on real quick. Make sure we ain't got no boost leaks, no vacuum leaks or anything like that. Double check all that stuff, and then probably, oh, I also got to wire in the intake air temp sensor on the hpxe sensor. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not like it's bolted in. Yeah, it just made it all harder. On the hpxe sensor, it's got everything integrated in it. So this one has the intake air temp sensor right here, so I got to put those 2 wires into the harness, the jump harness. That way everything just works kosher. I don't have to make another bung for the intake air temp sensor, and we can just run it the way that it is. But other than that, that's pretty much how she is. I'm gonna go ahead and rip this the stock intake piping off, and then throw the one that I made on. Alrighty, so I pretty much finished up the intercooler piping and all that stuff. Got the catch can installed. I had to make a jumper harness, because the jumper harness that they had did not integrate the intake air temp sensor. So I went ahead and spliced that in and made my own jumper harness. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good. I had to weld a bung on the front of right in front of the throttle body for the idle air control valve. That way that operated perfect. And then there's my catch can. Got it going to the valve covers. This one over here is temporary. I didn't know this valve cover had a male nipple on her, so yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something else out, but that'll do for tuning right now. But yeah, the intercooler mounting, I just made a little bracket, came down here, and he wanted to hide it behind the light, so we made it to where can't really see it, but we have plenty of airflow. And down here, I made a little L bracket, and then a 90 coupler to a 90 pipe to bring it out over here, and made that pipe a little bit longer because I had to cut a hole, so I didn't want to have the clamp hiding behind there. It would be really hard to get to, so of course I made it stick out quite a bit, about 2-3 inches, so I can get that clamp on there. Whenever you do this, you want to do the top one first so you can get to this bottom one, and then, well, actually no, the top one I got through the very top. So yeah, down here I did this one first, made a little bracket so the intercooler piping wasn't just being mounted with the couplers and being supported by the couplers and clamps. Made a little bracket right there to help support it. Over here by the exhaust, I have an aluminum V-band clamp to make for easy pulling it in and out, easy access and all that. And it goes straight back to the turbo. And then obviously that stuff's pretty straightforward. Let me get back there. Alright, so back here I got the turbo coming from the exhaust. Pretty much made it the stock routing exhaust. Got stock flanges. I'm going back here. We got BBK shorty headers up top, and yep, they come down to this little collector, and then it comes out. All that oil is from whenever I removed the fitting, the oil feed fitting. I had changed the gasket on it, and because it was leaking, so I put new gasket on it, got that thing sealed up. And then yeah, the exhaust, or the wideband, is right there, right in the bend. So it's probably about 1.5 feet away from the exhaust turbine. And then the wastegate, got the hose routed all the way up, fastened up. So got plenty of clearance from the drive shaft. Got a little loop right there, so whenever, and I lifted it up completely, made sure that whenever the back end drops, it's not going to hit the exhaust. Made sure that it's got plenty of clearance with the suspension loaded and unloaded, and there's nothing to worry about there. Got a little bracket right here made for the exhaust so it supports. But yeah, got the oil return coming downhill, coming to my scavenger pump, or scavenger tank, and then the scavenger tank goes to the pump, obviously, and the pump back up to the block, or the oil pan. And yeah, so I put a little fitting right there on the oil pan, and that's where I drained her back to. But yeah, I'm pretty much go ahead and call it a night because it is like 20 degrees. Because it is about 20 degrees out here, and I'm a little cold. My legs, my clothes are soaked from laying down there on the ground, and all the water draining off the truck from the ice melting. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the cold start in the morning, get the injector swapped out, and get this thing loaded up and dropped off to Blankenship in the morning. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna cut to the next scene. Boop. MAF sensor's probably giving her a little bit of hell right now. Bad boy. So yep, it runs, but it does need the MAF sensor being tuned. So it's definitely not gonna stay running for a while unless I keep giving it throttle. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get these injectors pulled out, do an oil change on it, and then pull her on the trailer and drop her off to the tuner. So I'm getting ready to get all that stuff finalized. So popping out the fuel rail, I got the new injectors up there. I have same fasteners as the Mustangs. I just made a little L bracket that goes in right underneath it, and mounts it down really good, really snug. So just wanted to show you guys how I did the fuel rail, and put a little rivet insert down there, like a bolt insert, and yeah, just cut off the top, made a little slit so I can get the angle perfect. I may make some new ones and put like a, you know, an actual top on it, but for right now it seems to be working really well, holding it nice and snug. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I did about the fuel rails, so how to mount them. These are Mustang fuel rails, so yeah, it went on there pretty easy. Like I said, this is a stock truck style intake, and I couldn't find any brackets or anything for it. So, and these are the injectors I went with. They're plug and play, so we don't need adapters or anything. They just plug right in. 600cc injectors, so there'll be plenty. We should be able to make about 700 on pump gas, so should be plenty. And that's at 43 psi, obviously. So we have a little bit more fuel pump, so we can up the pressure and everything. So we can play around and get quite a bit of quite a bit of power out of these injectors. So, but yeah, don't forget to lube them up before you install them. And then yeah, it's kind of hard to do this because I'm not an octopus with 4 arms. So, well, octopus has 8, but I don't have 3 or 4 arms to be able to work and record, and I don't have anything to like put it on. So I will be back. She's alive. Alrighty, so it's just a couple days later. I was getting ready to get it loaded up on the trailer and take it down to the tuner, but instead he wants me to order an SCT tuner, and so he can just email me a base map, and so we can get this thing going. Because my buddy that the truck's for, he's having a wedding, so he wants to have the truck there and kind of be able to play with it and show it off a little bit. So we're gonna get a base map on it, and that should be here in a couple days, and I'll just make another video whenever that stuff comes in. But might as well show off the truck one last time, kind of show everything that we've done. I did have to change up a couple little things. I had to change the scavenger pump routing. So I took that tank off that I had, because that hose that ran from the turbo to the tank kind of fell down in the middle, and so it kind of was really hard made it to where the oil had to push more oil through to kind of push it uphill a little bit. So I changed it around a little bit. Let me show you. So what I did was got a fitting and put it on there, and now it goes straight to the scavenger pump. So it's gonna use this housing right here to consolidate the oil, condense the oil, and bring it back down to a liquid, and it goes straight over to the scavenger tank. Scavenger pump. Scavenger pump goes straight up to the oil pan. And as far as the wastegate, I got the hose coming off the turbo compressor, and then it goes straight over to the wastegate. The exhaust routing is pretty much stock. Got stock BBK headers, and then intercooler piping goes straight from the turbo over the cross member that holds the transmission up, and then straight over the frame rail. Straight over the frame rail. Down there, we got a little V-band down there, so I can have 2 pieces of pipe, then have to make one long piece and try to finagle it in there. And that goes down here to the intercooler. The intercooler goes up to the throttle body. But yeah, she's looking nice. And if his AC compressor worked, we would be able to run AC, full AC. Still have the condenser, still have everything, every component in there. So once we get the AC working, he'll have full AC and everything. Only can't even really tell that it's turboed. Almost looks like a cold air intake. But yeah, when this thing gets boogieing, you'll be able to tell for sure. You got the blow-off valve right here. Get that good old fuel smoke. Shoo, that wind is kicking out there. But yeah, in a couple days, the SCT tuner will be here, and then I'll be able to upload the base map and kind of be able to update you guys and actually see a little bit of drive time. And because right now, as soon as you hit the gas, it goes to about 8.5 AFR. So it's not really doable to drive it around right now. So I don't want to I don't want to glaze the cylinder walls. I don't want to, hurt anything. So as soon as that comes in, we'll be getting an update on the truck again. And then I'll be hopping on the sedan, finishing up the fuel system, trying to get that thing lined out. So be looking for videos on that. But if you guys haven't already, hit the like and subscribe and share if you guys don't mind. See you guys.